Welcome to the haunting tale of William Lewis Reece. William Lewis Reece, a serial killer and kidnapper, has committed a series of gruesome crimes that have left a trail of horror in his wake. This is the story of one of his heinous crimes. It was the evening of May 17, 1997, in Oklahoma City, when 12-year-old Laura Smither, a bright and cheerful girl, left her home for a routine jog. She was an athletic and active child, known for her love of running. However, on this fateful day, her passion for jogging would lead her straight into the clutches of William Lewis Reece. Reece, who had a history of criminal activity and violence, had been lurking in the area. He spotted Laura and, like a predator, seized the opportunity to satisfy his sinister desires. Without warning, he abducted the unsuspecting girl, tearing her from her family and the safety of her community. Laura's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, sparking a massive search effort and a desperate quest for answers. Her family, friends, and law enforcement mobilized in a desperate attempt to locate the missing girl. As days turned into weeks, hope began to wane, and the Smither family faced a harrowing ordeal. It would be a month before Laura's lifeless body was discovered in a field near Pasadena, Texas, a significant distance from her Oklahoma City home. Her remains bore the marks of violence and trauma. Telling the horrific story of her ordeal, Reece had sexually assaulted and strangled the young girl, leaving her to be found by a horrified passerby. Despite the discovery of Laura's body, the investigation into her murder remained unsolved for years. William Lewis Reece had left behind little evidence, and he continued to evade capture while victimizing others. It wasn't until 2016 that Reece, already imprisoned for another kidnapping and assault, was linked through DNA evidence to Laura Smither's murder. This revelation provided a long-awaited sense of closure to the Smither family, who had endured nearly 2 decades of uncertainty and pain. Reece, a serial predator, was subsequently charged with multiple murders, including Laura Smither's. His capture and prosecution highlighted the importance of advances in forensic technology in solving cold cases and bringing justice to the families of victims. Here is a detailed biography of this deeply disturbed individual. William Lewis Reece was born on March 26, 1959 in Texas, USA. His early years were marked by a troubled childhood and a turbulent family life. Reece's upbringing was characterized by instability and exposure to criminal elements, which would significantly influence his own criminal path. Reece's criminal activities began early in his life. In 1986, he was convicted of aggravated kidnapping and sentenced to 60 years in prison. This initial conviction was related to the abduction and assault of a young woman. However, he would not remain incarcerated for long. Reece's violent tendencies continued, and in 1997, he was paroled from prison, setting the stage for a series of heinous crimes. Reece's most notorious crimes occurred in the late 1990s, including the abduction and murder of 12-year-old Laura Smither, as detailed in a previous response. Laura's disappearance and subsequent murder were only one episode in a series of horrifying crimes perpetrated by Reece during this period. His victims, often young women, were subjected to sexual assault, torture, and murder, leaving a trail of terror across multiple states. Despite the severity of his crimes, Reece managed to elude capture for several years. It wasn't until 2016, when advances in forensic technology allowed for DNA evidence to link him to his crimes, that he was finally apprehended. He was already imprisoned at the time, serving a 60-year sentence for an unrelated kidnapping and assault. Reece was subsequently charged with multiple counts of murder, including Laura Smither's, and was sentenced to death. His capture served as a testament to the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the enduring pursuit of justice. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, William Lewis Reece remains incarcerated on death row in Texas. He continues to serve his sentence while his victims' families seek closure and a sense of justice for the horrifying crimes he committed. William Lewis Reece, the American serial killer and kidnapper, is a figure marked by the disturbing nature of his crimes and his criminal history. Here are some intriguing and unsettling facts about him. Reece's criminal record includes a range of offenses, from kidnapping and assault to rape and murder. His crimes escalated in violence over the years, showcasing a pattern of deviant behavior. Reece was released on parole in 1997 after serving a portion of his initial 60-year sentence for aggravated kidnapping. This release allowed him to commit more heinous crimes before he was recaptured and incarcerated. Reece's capture and subsequent convictions were made possible through advancements in forensic DNA technology, which enabled law enforcement to link him to unsolved cold cases from the late 1990s. While convicted of specific murders, Reece is suspected of being responsible for more unsolved murders and abductions. The full extent of his crimes may never be known, leaving a sense of uncertainty and fear in the regions he terrorized. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, William Lewis Reece remained on death row in Texas. His life is characterized by legal appeals, while the families of his victims await a sense of closure. Reece's crimes and the fear they generated had a significant impact on the communities where they occurred, leaving a lasting scar and a sense of vulnerability among the local population. Reece's criminal history and modus operandi bear some similarities to other infamous serial killers, such as his abduction and murder of young women, echoing patterns seen in other cases. Reece's outward demeanor appeared ordinary, and he was often described as mild-mannered. This stark contrast between his seemingly normal exterior and his sadistic crimes is a testament to the hidden nature of many serial killers. Reece's case continues to captivate the interest of true crime enthusiasts, investigators, and those fascinated by the psychology of serial killers. It highlights the enduring interest in understanding the motivations and actions of those who commit such horrific crimes. Reece's legal proceeding, including appeals and efforts to challenge his convictions, have added to the complexity of his case and prolonged the closure that victims' families seek. Reece's life is a chilling example of the depths of depravity to which some individuals can descend, as well as the importance of law enforcement's dedication in pursuing and bringing to justice those who perpetrate acts of violence and terror against the innocent. Bid farewell to the darkness that marked William Lewis Reece's life, while acknowledging the lasting impact of his crimes.